Happy October, YouTube, and welcome back to the Hollywood Rip Studio for episode 8 of the Hobby Headquarters, where we go from coast to coast, continent to continent, covering the biggest stories in the world of sports and sports cards. And a big thanks to all of you guys. We are closing in on 500 subscribers now. Thanks for joining us. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Hollywood. That's Joe Nasty there to my right. Apologies if our voices are a little bit scratchy today. We spent last night screaming our heads off in the stands watching Otani hit his first postseason 3-run homer against the Padres.
Nuts. Yeah.
It was wild. I don't think I've ever. I'm not sure I've ever screamed that loud.
Not at baseball.
Not at baseball.
College basketball for sure.
Maybe for you because you went to Kansas, But let's start off this week's show with some scandal.
Ooh, scandal.
Specifically, Upper Deck. We have Upper Deck scandal. Apparently, an Upper Deck employee was caught stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of redemption cards and was trying to sell them in various ways. Now, this is not the first time that this has happened. This happened at Topps. This happened at a couple other companies as well. I believe, I might be mistaken on this, but I believe Topps instructed an employee to destroy a bunch of superfractors that they weren't going to use. But instead, this employee took them all and then started selling them. Apparently, both of these employees didn't just do it's not like they stole one superfractor or two superfractors or 5 superfractors or 20 or 50 or 100. They stole hundreds, and they just kept doing it over and over and over.
They would never notice.
Yeah, no one's ever going to notice.
Please.
And then when they pop up on eBay, and Topps is like, wait, this was supposed to have been destroyed.
Hey, wait a second.
So, look, number one, this is stupid. This is really stupid.
Yeah.
If you're an employee, you got to be stupid to do something like this. You really do. But at the same time, I want to, and I'll get your thoughts on it in a second, but these cards have become so much money, worth so much money, that the number one name of the game is security. That's for the companies producing the cards. That's for their employees. That's for us, right?
Yeah.
We have the whole CT scanning thing. So card companies, look, you need to make your boxes unscannable. I don't know how you do that, but you need to make them unscannable, number one. Number two, your employees, you need to start treating your factories like they are jewelry shops, because that is exactly what they are.
Yeah.
They are jewelry shops. When employees come into the building, they need to be searched. They need to be scanned. Scan your employees
You need to CT scan them.
But more importantly, when your employees leave work every day, I'm sorry, but they need to be searched. I am sorry. They got to be searched.
Or at least do airport security style stuff. Yeah.
I mean, look, this is getting a little out of hand. We've seen millions of dollars worth of cards stolen this year at card shows as well. I mean, look, guys, you go to a card show with huge cards, they better be handcuffed to you in a big case. You better not be pulling it out of your case and handing it to people to look at while you're talking to other people. Right. I mean, we don't do breaks. We don't sell at shows. I guess technically we've made custom cards.
Yes.
But I can tell you that all of our cards are in a temperature-controlled bank vault. That is where our cards sit. We don't just keep them at the office. It may look like we just keep them at the office because they're in front of you guys every week, but surprise, after the show, these go right back into the bank vault every week. They're not here. What are your thoughts on this latest Upper Deck scandal, stealing cards, and the whole idea that the hobby is now, it's no longer a sports card business. It is a jewelry, collectibles,
valuables
valuables business.
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing this show now for, I mean, I call it the summer, so what, like 5 months or so now?
5 months.
Give or take. And we've already done, what, like 3 to 4, if not more, theft stories.
Yeah.
Like, it's becoming an every other show kind of thing at this point, which you kind of took the words out of my mouth, so thanks for that. But when there's any sort of job where there's valuables being handled, it kind of this is a worry. It comes with the territory, so they need to treat it, yes, like it's an artifact, like it's a jewelry. I mean, this is what happens when you're dealing in a world of things that are worth a lot. So you got to bump up security, or you need to enact Hammurabi's code, you know, which was what you like steal something and they cut off your hand.
Cut off your hand. Well,
that's eye for an eye.
well, that's what they do in Dubai.
Yeah, it's like if you touch someone the wrong way, that they're like you're dead.
That's what they do in Dubai, and it works.
Reportedly,
it works.
It's a little it's very Hammurabi, but
it's a little maybe Hammurabi's code is a little too intense. Eye for an eye, I think they said.
Literally eye for an eye.
Yeah.
You blind someone, so they're like.
But if you steal someone's 1-of-1 rookie superfractor, right? Then does that mean they get to steal yours, or steal theirs back?
They get to steal.
Or what's the
your most prized like pair of clippers or something? I don't know. Like if you really love your lawnmower, they're like, well, I'll take that. Yes, Hammurabi's code is a bit archaic, a bit. But you got to bump up your security.
Look, I mean, bottom line, this industry is a valuables industry at this point. It is a very lucrative industry. Mm-hmm. You cannot just go Wild Westing your production runs and just telling employee Jack over there, who you just hired 3 weeks ago out of North Dakota State University.
Go Bison.
Like, oh, hey, dude, let me just give you this stack of 200 superfractors.
You seem trustworthy.
Yeah, can you just, like, throw these in the shredder real quick? But,
will do.
But we're going to move to our next story, and that is breaker collusion. That's right. Breaking culture has become huge in the hobby. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people are on the fence about it. We're honestly, at least I can't speak for you, I'm a little bit on the fence about it, to be honest. But there's been some online personalities recently. I'm not going to name any names today. But there have been some online personalities and breakers, and I'm talking breakers that are like pretty known in the tens and tens of thousands of subscribers, who are alleging that at least 40 to 50 major breakers colluded together to sell out the Dutch auction of Prism Deca first off the line. That's that 10-year anniversary Prism basketball set that everyone has been going crazy for. But I believe the Dutch auction came out at $3,000, and they sold the entire thing out at by the time it hit $2,600. If you don't know how Dutch auction works, basically it starts high, and you can buy it until they run out of inventory, but they decrease the price every X amount of time.
And then there's tulips, right? Since it's Dutch.
Not quite.
Oh.
Not quite.
Okay.
But apparently, these major breakers, who you can assume who they are the biggest breakers in the industry. They then said that these boxes are worth $3,500 to $5,000 on the open market. Mm-hmm. They inflated the prices. They priced the breaks well over $3,500 for these first off-the-line boxes. This is part of why I don't like breaker culture, because the breakers are essentially able to look, they're the ones that spend millions of dollars on inventory, right?
Right, yeah.
So, like, they actually have the money to literally just say, F you guys, and we're going to buy the entire stock, right? And the fact that it's even available to them at that level, I would argue that they probably open over 80 to 85% of the boxes, of the high-end boxes.
It's kind of crazy.
That is not okay. In my opinion, that is not okay, and I think what's going on, especially with this Deca product, was totally crazy. I mean, you have these people sitting there in their chairs claiming, "Oh, this is a $4,000 box." Like, no, this box is $4,000 because you made it $4,000. That doesn't mean it's $4,000. That doesn't mean it's value, right? It's not value if you're the one setting the value. When, in all honesty, they have no right to set the value. It should be Panini or Topps setting the value.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this story?
I don't trust any of these people, right?
It's hard to.
And as we've said in the past, this is what makes it tough, right? There's no guardrails. Like, nothing is illegal. It's just a marketplace. It's people who grab a hold of something early on and then they control it all. So yeah, I don't trust anyone. There's only one group in terms of this world that I truly trust. And it's right here. Stay here, where things are actually honest and keep it real.
Yeah, because we don't break any products.
But if it were to happen, which you never know,
we have had a lot of requests to start breaking products.
if it happened, actually trustworthy.
I mean, I would agree with that. I'm also biased.
A little bit.
A little bit. But we're going to keep it moving to our next story. And this one is Jeff Wilson, Mr. Sports Card Investor, versus Ken Golden, president of Golden Auctions. Now, Jeff posted a video on Instagram or on YouTube or TikTok or I don't know. He posted,
MySpace?
I think it was Instagram. Jeff posted a video about the one-of-one non-autograph Olympics basketball card that I know you love so much.
Oh my God.
The non-autograph. It's sold on Golden Auctions for $53,000. That includes the buyer's premium. Jeff offered that person, who lives in California, by the way, $25,000.
So you?
No.
Okay.
It is not me. Jeff offered them $25,000 plus a VIP experience at Cards HQ, whatever that means. So Jeff then went on to say in this video, he goes on to say, this buyer is essentially stupid because Golden charges 22% in fees to the seller, and this buyer is now going to have to pay taxes because Golden issues a 1099 to you when you sell something, right? So he basically is claiming that, yes, this California family was dumb to do that and that Jeff would have paid them cash and there would have been no tax. Plus, they'd get this VIP experience. All things together, it didn't look great.
Shady.
We'll go with, I'll start with this. Ken Golden responded. He wrote a comment and he said, and we'll put a picture of the comment on the screen, but it said, this is like a video in poor taste, Jeff. And he essentially called Jeff out on saying, you're basically telling people not to pay their taxes, which isn't okay. Jeff Wilson later posted a response video saying that he was sorry to Ken Golden, and he told people, pay your taxes. And how did he say sorry to Ken Golden? He bought $60,000 worth of Ken Golden stuff in that apology video. Here are my thoughts on this. Look, when it comes to auctioning stuff with Golden Auctions, I've had some experience with Golden Auctions. They do charge a buyer's premium, okay? But it is negotiable, and it depends on what you have, right? If you got a really big card, say that's a $20,000 card, I have had Golden tell me, we will give you 100% of whatever this auction makes, and we will charge the premium to the buyer. It's not always the seller that gets hit with the fees. It's negotiable, number one. So on that stance, Jeff is completely wrong. And so I understand, I side with Ken on that. The whole tax thing, I get it. I get it, Jeff. I get it. But you can't say it out loud.
Yeah, you can't say the ugly part out loud.
You can't say that part out loud. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you why I like going to card shows more than selling cards on eBay.
You're not going to?
No.
Okay.
So I understand what Jeff is saying, but you can't say it out loud, man. What are your thoughts on this Ken versus Jeff latest saga.
Well, it's because you prefer the personal interactions, right?
Exactly. I like talking with people.
You like to feel skin on skin of a handshake.
Yeah, exactly.
You like to look someone in the eye and say, deal. Or no deal.
Deal or no deal, and then, hey, can you fill out this tax form for me?
That's what you love the most.
Exactly.
My first reaction and only reaction is finally a Clash of the Titans. These guys whose names I hear all the time. And then
they've kind of been clashing.
Well,
this is by far the
about.
worst. This is like a haymaker.
I was laughing as you were doing the story because you keep talking about this VIP experience. I'm like, what's the VIP experience? Like, hold this ball.
I think it's go to a Falcons game or a Braves game, and then like a tour and then you can pick out any box you want.
Oh, and then
in the store.
I was like, then here's a cup of green tea also. You're welcome. Very important.
Yeah.
Hopefully they tear each other down, and then in the rubble, again, here we are.
We rise up.
Like a phoenix.
We rise up with all 500 of our subscribers.
I told you yesterday, the first 411 are the hardest.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. And now we're at 400 and I don't know what we're at actually. But we're going to keep moving.
It's all easy from here.
To our next hobby story, and that is Shohei Otani's 50th home run ball, that one he hit in Miami on that epic 6-for-6 day, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases. To join the 50-50 club, it is for sale at Golden Auctions. The current bid of that ball is at $1,500,000. That is $1.8 million, including the buyer's premium. No, Jeff. It's not guaranteed that that buyer's premium is going to the seller. Not necessarily. It's what he agreed to with Golden, which you will probably never know. But a bunch of other balls are for auction from that game. The ball he hit a double on is for auction. I think it's at like 15,000 now or something, 12,000 or something. Nice. The ball that they tried to throw him out when he stole on base number 49 and it went into the outfield. Mm-hmm. And he got to third. That ball is for auction. Bunch of balls from that are for auction. I've heard some rumblings as to who the bidder for that $1.5 million 50th home run ball is, but I can't confirm anything, so I'm not going to say anything about it. But yeah, as this ball clears the $1.5 million mark, how do you see it kind of going forward? Just quick take.
Yeah, it kind of turns out it was a good decision not to give it back to the team. It's just because they offered $300,000, right, and then some moments. But I say that, and I wrote here in my notes, it's weird because I still have this foot in the boat of the player's the one who accomplished it.
Yeah.
It's his moment.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, $300,000 I didn't have before, and some memorabilia and a moment and meeting Shohei on that day is also pretty darn special. But also, I'm very quick to acknowledge that it's easy for me to say as I sit here, and not in that moment. I know 1.5 million or however it would end up being is a different animal, but
yeah,
all that guy did was be in the right place at the right time. He didn't really accomplish anything, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, to be honest, I'd probably take this ball's probably going to sell for $2 million-ish.
Right.
I'd probably take $2 million over meeting Shohei Otani. I'm sorry. I love Shohei Otani.
You're a money over moments guy?
I mean, I'm not saying I'm a money over moments guy. I'd still give it back to him if he wants to give me $2 million.
Which would be his full year salary, technically.
Yeah, actually, for those of you who are saying oh, why doesn't Shohei just buy this? This ball is going to sell for more than his salary this year.
This year.
Just this
now
year.
In 2035,
yeah, exactly.
He'll be paid $68 million to not be on the team.
Exactly. Speaking of Otani, his 50-50 exclusive product with Topps sold out on their website. I believe they said the estimated ship date for this was in December, which is a big problem.
Happy holidays.
Which is a big problem for resellers. And I think it's why the price of these boxes on the secondary market aren't doing as well. So I think it's interesting that Topps is doing this. But again, they're doing something where they released it, they let people order it, and that's going to determine the print run. So the print run on this product is going to be nuts. I mean, nuts.
Nuts.
Like the craziest thing you've ever seen. And there's only one short print or parallel per box. Remember, each box is $240. And you get one card that is either numbered or is like a parallel of some sort. In my opinion, and they're going to print this to the moon. So as a value proposition, this product is awful. And I say that saying that I think this product is the coolest product, one of the coolest products that Topps has ever released.
It's quite the dichotomy.
I think no, but this is just where it's at. This is one of the coolest products ever done, ever. But only if you're like a diehard Dodger fan or Shohei Otani fan, and you want to put together all 50 homers and all 50 stolen bases on your wall in base cards.
Yeah.
Because in terms of value, this is probably one of the worst values I've seen, but the best ideas that I've seen. What are your thoughts on my? I know that was a wide spectrum.
Yeah. Your canyon.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I do. I'm with you. It's one of the cooler ideas of something to like throw together, but then what you're kind of getting out of it is nothing of true like value. So it's again, it's a moments versus monetary value. Like
this is a moment thing.
I have a wall full of 50 cards of him hitting 50 home runs separately, but they're worth like $32.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's a super cool idea. In terms of the value in our stock market of hobby, then it's not. Yeah. Whatever.
Well, we're going to move to the next hobby topic, and it's Topps Mercury. We've talked about it before because it's coming out in 3 days. The EQL lottery opens. I don't know how many people are going to win that. It's probably going to be like less than 2% of people are going to win that. But assuming that this product actually is $8,000, it has to be the underprice of the century. They announced just the other day that artist Chuck Sykes has created kind of these artist proofs that are going to go on the set as well. We'll put a picture of those on the screen for you guys. They look really cool, kind of like Wemby walking into the sunset. There's going to be a 1 of 1. There's going to be all these crazy inscriptions like the Alien and Rookie of the Year. Full transparency, guys. We have already secured 2 boxes of this stuff at $10,000 a box.
Ooh.
Well, $9,828 a box. How did we do that? Why did we do that when the product's going to cost $8,000? Well, there's no chance in heck that we're going to win the lottery because we're just not lucky. And I have a feeling these are going to do way more than $9,800 on the secondary market during release week when these come out. You just got to remember that his Topps Chrome autographs were doing $4,000 or $5,000 on release week. The ones numbered to 50 were doing $13,000.
Wow.
You get 2 guaranteed autographs in this. They're numbered to 99 or less, both of them, and one of them is a patch autograph with game used jersey from his first game, possibly. I'm sorry, but these two autographs numbered to 99 plus 4 more guaranteed Wembanyama cards numbered to 99 or less will 100% cover the price of this box. I can't see them not covering the price of this box, and I feel like I'm taking crazy pills that people aren't jumping at buying this even at $10,000. This is as good of a value proposition. We just talked about value proposition. This box at $8,000 is a joke in terms of value proposition. I mean, it's darn near close to 100% you're going to get your money back. At $10,000, it's still the best value proposition in the entire hobby at this point. What are your thoughts on Mercury coming out?
I want to say on Mercury, great planet. I mean, so you're saying that this is the 180 of what we just talked about, right? The value, the monetary value is way more there.
Yeah.
I mean, you showed me one of the Wembanyama walking into the sunset with the Eiffel Tower or whatever. It was beautiful. A name like Chuck Sykes. I don't even know who that is as an artist, but he sounds like he does great work. And the one you showed me was really cool. So, yeah, if you're able to do it, I'm right there with you. Like, the value certainly is there. People love Wemby, and the NBA season is about to start back up,
I know.
as we talked about. So he's about to do something crazy, and people are like, oh, yeah, I need to get back on that train.
Yeah, look, there's no box on planet Earth right now that you can open where I can tell you, guaranteed, for the most part, you are going to make at least like 60 to 75 to 80% of your money back.
What about Pandora's?
Well,
you wouldn't make anything off that.
yeah, you would literally like ruin the world if you did that.
That's true.
But there's no product on the market like that. Even at $10,000, there's no product on the market like that. This is like opening a box of Flawless, except every single card is Wembanyama. Hello, people. You need to get in on Topps Mercury if you like Victor Wembanyama. Speaking of Topps, Topps Now. We are going to take a look at what Topps Now's latest big release is. Drum roll, please. It is this. Lionel the Lizard.
Who actually named him that?
Lionel the Lizard, unexpected guest, makes special appearance at the Formula One Singapore Grand Prix 2024. We told you how we think Topps Now is taking this a little bit too far every week. Well, let me tell you this. Number one, Lionel ain't autographing this.
That lizard might bite your hand off.
Maybe he would lick it or something. But number two, this is not a sports card. This is a Pokemon card.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Good point. That looks like what does that look like?
This is prime example of, I think we've taken it a little too far. Topps, what do you think about this Lionel the Lizard?
To be fair, I do love that. It's like the wacky stuff that I talked about.
He would.
I love the Billy Ripken card, as I talked about last week. It's fun. But yeah, we talked about this just last week. Like, you don't need to make a moment out of every little thing. But that lizard looks really sinister. I was just saying, it might bite your hand off. I have not seen anything that mean looking on a racetrack since probably Iron Man 2. When the guy came out with the electric whips and was messing up the cars.
Yeah, that was badass.
Yeah, that was bad. The Topps Now of that did not sell very well.
No. Was that the guy who was like, "Don't touch my birdie"?
I need my board.
I need my board.
I can't work unless I have my board.
But as there is a Topps Now, and last week we came up with Topps How.
Yeah, the people loved it.
And people loved it. So you know what? Every week we're coming out with a new segment. It's called Topps How. And where we do not go over the greatest moments in sports, but we go over the worst moments in sports and create a card to commemorate that moment.
Go figure.
So we have two for you this week. How about this one? We're going to put it on your screen right now. A.J. Smith-Shawver, starting pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, makes his second start of the year at San Diego against the hottest team in baseball in the second half in the wild card round. Inscription: how was I the only option for this game? Autographed 1 of 1. Topps How, A.J. Smith-Shawver. Let's be honest. The Braves, and I know Chris Sale had back spasms. Mm-hmm. The Braves had Chris Sale, Charlie Morton, Max Fried, Ronaldo Lopez, who's been like one of the best pitchers of the year.
Yeah.
And they decided to burn Ronaldo Lopez out of the bullpen instead of starting him, right?
Yeah.
I do not understand why on earth A.J. Smith-Shawver was in the game. And this card right here, this is what you get. You know what our second Topps How?
This one blew my mind. I mean, it blew my mind that it occurred, not that he's on this segment.
Right.
But yeah.
Our second Topps How card of the week belongs to Milwaukee Brewers closer Devin Williams.
Can't believe it.
And we'll go ahead and put that card on the screen now. Here you go. Topps How?
Huh?
Devin Williams, apparently, well, not apparently, he blew the game trying to close it out against the Mets in decisive Game 3 of the Wild Card Series. Mm-hmm. And it was later revealed that the Mets had figured out that he was tipping his pitches, right? So what better than having a Topps How card, 1 of 1 of Devin Williams. I tip generously at restaurants too.
That's nice of him.
What do we think about this? I was shocked. Devin Williams is literally unhittable.
Yeah. He came into the game, and as he's throwing, I'm watching him throw 98 miles per hour with the airbender changeup.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting like, how does anyone hit this guy? And then the Mets figured it out. Now it was because he was tipping his pitches reportedly. 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 4 earned runs, a walk and a strikeout. Unbelievable for a guy with a pitch that is called the airbender.
Right.
That's ridiculous. So, yeah, he tipped so well that as he was throwing against the Mets, he spun around the iPad and was like, hey, I'm just going to ask you a few questions, just so you can select it as you want. No big deal.
It's pretty crazy. This happens almost every year now. This happens almost every year in the
someone
playoffs.
Sees
where someone finds out that someone's tipping pitches. And
Dave Roberts last night said that the Dodgers think Yamamoto was tipping his pitches with runners on base because he was bad last night.
Yeah. Speaking of the playoffs, we're going to move to our MLB update. The playoffs are well underway.
Yes.
The Tigers swept the Astros 2-0.
Oh, too bad.
Astros are out of the playoffs. First time they haven't played in the ALCS since 2016, guys. The Padres swept the Braves, of course, 2-0. The Royals swept the Orioles 2-0. The Mets did beat the Brewers 2-1 off of that Devin Williams tops Howe moment. DS. The Dodgers took Game 1 against San Diego in LA last night. What a game. Wow, what a game.
Hardcore.
The Mets took Game 1 over Philly. They are currently playing Game 2 right now. Mm-hmm. Dodgers play San Diego tonight. We are filming this in the afternoon. The Guardians took Game 1 over the Tigers easily. And the Yankees eked one out over the Royals.
That game was crazy, too.
Crazy game. 1 minute. Any thoughts on baseball playoffs so far?
On the playoffs in whole, no. But with the Tigers, it's like in the Astros series, they won the game they had to win, which is the Tarek Skubal win.
Yep.
And they figured it out in Game 2. They got bludgeoned in Game 1, and they now have things lined up in Game 2 for Tarek Skubal. These are the games they have to win. They don't figure it out in Game 2 at Progressive Field on the banks of Lake Erie, they're screwed. Because the rest of the team just probably isn't going to get it done against a solid team. Dodgers-Padres is a bloodbath, as we imagined. I can't imagine how they have 4 more games of that. Yankees-Royals kind of felt like Big Brother was getting one over on small market team with that call at second base. And I have no idea how the Mets are doing this. Truly. Their roster is hugely whatever to me. They're currently leading right now 3-0 over Philadelphia in Game 2 before they head back to Citi Field.
3-2 right now.
Oh, the Phillies I just checked it as you were going over.
Phillies just scored 2 runs. I'm not sure how.
As we were talking, they scored 2 runs.
Harper homer.
Oh, there
2-run shot for Harper.
And he already struck out twice today, so he figured it out finally. Look, but the Mets are doing this with pure togetherness, pure friendship, pure magic, to be honest. Not that they don't have talent, obviously, but it's been a crazy ride so far. This is the first game, though, where they actually take the lead first, where they don't have to make a comeback.
Yeah, that's true.
Could be working against them as we speak.
That's true. That's true. Well, October's a long month. There's a long way to go. There's a lot of stress to be had. So we're going to move to our NFL update.
Truth.
And we don't have a full NFL update today because we are filming again in the afternoon. The early window games are over on this Sunday, but we still have the night games to go. And the 1 o'clock window is still currently in progress. But the Ravens had an epic win over the Bengals in overtime. MVP Lamar Jackson, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns. Yes, sir. He is back.
Yes, sir.
The Vikings are 5-0 now after beating the Jets in London behind Sam Darnold. The Bears crushed the Panthers, and really not a shocker. Caleb Williams had a big game, and coincidentally, Caleb Williams has been pretty good the last 2 weeks. Coincidentally, what has gone well for them in the last 2 weeks? The running game. DeAndre Swift has been lights out in the last couple of games. So as the running game has gone, so has Caleb Williams. That is a good sign for Caleb Williams fans and for Bears fans. The Dolphins beat the Patriots 15-10 in one of probably the most puke-worthy matchup of the week. Devon Achane was concussed, so now he's going to join.
Okay?
I'm fine. He's going to join Tua. My fantasy team isn't.
Oh, okay.
He's going to join Tua Tagovailoa on the concussion protocol squad. They do have a formidable concussion protocol squad now, though. The Commanders are now 4-1 after a 34-13 win over the lowly Browns. Can't really think of a color that describes the Browns more than brown.
Maybe puke green.
Yeah, maybe puke green. But we talked about it last week, guys. Here come the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are on the board. Trevor Lawrence threw for 371 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm telling you, this is the 4-game stretch where Trevor Lawrence is going to do some damage. And if it's damage control for his cards and you're holding them, they might be up by 20%, 25% in the next month, it might be the time to say bye-bye to Trevor Lawrence. Or if you really believe in him, like, buy it now because it's going to go up. The Texans went to 4-1. They beat the Bills 23-20. Josh Allen went 9 for 30 passing.
Oof.
With 130 yards. Yikes. The Falcons edged the Bucks at home in an overtime epic to go to 3-2. That was Thursday Night Football.
Right.
Captain Kirk threw 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. That Achilles looked pretty limber on Thursday night. The Saints will go to the Chiefs tomorrow night. Packers at Rams going on right now. I don't know what the score is.
Rams are up by 3 at halftime.
Rams are up by 3 at half. Cardinals are at the Niners now.
Niners are up by 13 in the third.
Niners are up by 13 in the third. The Giants are in Seattle playing the Seahawks right now.
Deadlock at 10.
Deadlocked at 10.
In the third.
And the Cowboys will go to Pittsburgh and play the Steelers tonight. That's actually going to be an interesting one.
2 big brands, that's for sure.
Yeah. But that'll do it for us here. Episode 8 of the Hobby Headquarters. Thanks for joining us as always. Hope you enjoyed this week's show. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. It really helps us out if you guys subscribe to the channel. Over 93% of you guys who watch us are not subscribed.
Ugh, what a bunch of voyeurs.
And keep in mind, we won't be able to keep doing this without your support. So until next time, I'm Mr. Hollywood. That's Joe Nasty. And we'll see you next time right back here at Hollywood Rips. Mr. Hollywood, Joe Nasty, out.